All right, welcome to integrating Google Docs into Google Sites. And so today what we're going to do is learn how to insert these things into our websites, into our Google Sites. And so we're going to show you how to insert a doc, a calendar, and presentations. Show you some of those settings there as well to help you effectively and quickly stick these things on your website, maybe some examples on how to use these different things within your website. And so the first thing that we need to do is we need to be logged into our Google accounts and head on over and get into your Google Drive. And so you can see your Google Drive, your Google Documents, all that kind of stuff is right here. And also you want to be into your Google site as well in the same tab, or in a different tab. So up above here I'm in my documents, and I'm in a kind of just basically a test site for me, so I can just play around and show you some different things. And so if you want to pause the video and do that right now, and once everybody's logged in we can move on. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you examples of how these are used, these different aspects are used on a website. And so I'm going to show you, this is Mrs. Hauger. She's out of Yellow Medicine East, social studies teacher. She teaches world geography, world history, economics, obviously you can see that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at her world geography and how she does different things. The first thing we're going to look at is how does she integrate Google Documents with her website. And so if I go to assignments, I can see her chapter 3 packet, atlas activity. And so we're just going to go to chapter 3 packet, which would be probably her note packet. And here you can see here's a Google document that she's created. And you can scroll through it and see the different things. And up above what we have is you can see that it's view only. And so if the students can't go in and change this, what they have to do actually is go to File, make a copy, say copy of chapter 3 packet. So this is how I would do it. I'd make my students say Hour 1 chapter 3 packet, and then click OK. And now what I can do is I can edit this document, but not everybody can edit it, just me. And then if it were something that I need to turn back in, I would go back, share that, and share it with somebody, or my teacher. And so we'll go through those steps here shortly, but I wanted to show you kind of a way that you can use it in your classroom. So go back to her world geography, take a look at how she uses calendar. And so here's her Google Calendar throughout her website. And so if I want to see what was done on Thursday in world geography, I can click there. And here I can see they did the news, they worked on a map packet, and watched the video Planet Earth. If I want to see what they did way back here, I can see as well, and so I can see just a quick rundown of what they're doing. I can go all the way back through. I can go ahead. As far as they have ahead, I could print this if I wanted it. And so we'll show you how to use Google Calendar as well. And then if you want to see a presentation, we'll go down to Notes, and this is a Google presentation on Chapter 5. And so we can go through and you can see basically just their PowerPoint on Chapter 5, Chapter 4. She's got them all down here, so I'll show you how to do that as well. Okay, and so in your website, what we need to do is we need to go to the page where you want to add something. I'm just playing around here, so here's my 10th grade class. And I'm just going to click on the edit button, which is up above here. And then in the edit button, once I get my tabs up here, I just go to insert. And over on the right hand side, this is all my inserting my Google stuff that I have And so what we're going to do, we're going to do a document first. And so I'm going to insert a Google document. So when I click on that, what you see is all of my documents will come up. Okay. I can search too if it's something that we need to search back for. We can do that as well. You can search through your folders over here on the left hand side too. I'm just going to choose 60 sites in 60 minutes, this document I created. I select it and hit select. Now what I have here is display these options here. I can include a border on it, include the title, which is fine. The height and width. Sometimes we can play around with that here, and we can see that here in a second. But I'm going to hit save. Now what's going to come up is this box. Okay, it's not going to, obviously you're not going to see it yet until I hit save. Once I hit save, now you'll be able to see this document is embedded into my web page. Okay, it's actually embedded into my web page. Now that's a pretty big document. I don't want that big. And so how do I change that? What I do is I go back to the edit page. I can click on it, and now you get a set of tools up above here. Okay, I can align it left, align it in the center, align it to the right. I can turn text wrapping on, text wrapping off. I can remove it, or I can click on settings here. Now I know that, okay, that's pretty big. I only wanted about half of that, so I'm just going to go to 300 pixels. Hit save. Hit save. And now here's half of the document. Okay, and so now this is actually embedded into my website. Now what if I don't want to embed it and I just want my students to click on it, save it in their own Google Docs? How do I do that? And so the first thing that we're going to do is go back. I'm going to find the 60 sites in 60 minutes in my Google Drive. I open it up. And here's my document. Okay, and I don't want everybody in the world to be able to edit this, and so what I need to do is go to my share settings up above here on the right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change, and this is up to you on what preferences you want to do, though I always do public on the web. It's least restrictive, easier to get to. Access, anyone can view this. So my access, anyone can view. I hit save. Now I'm going to get a URL up here, link to share. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy it. So I've copied that URL. I'm going to go back over to my website, get into the edit mode. I'm just going to delete this for now. And so here is my 60 sites and 60 minutes worksheet, let's say. Okay. I highlight it, I link it, I'm going to link it to a web address, and I'm going to copy paste. I'm going to paste that into that URL, open link in a new window. I always like that because then students don't get away from my website. And then I click OK, hit save, and now this has become a link on my page, not actually embedded into my page. And so I click on that. And here is the document. Now I'm the owner of it, so I have edit privileges. If I was not the owner of this document, you just see a view only here, and you'd have to go to File, make a copy. Okay? So that's integrating Google Docs into your website. Now, what if I have a presentation to go along with this worksheet or something? How do I put that in there as well? And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit enter here, put my cursor right here so it goes down a couple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to insert, and I'm going to insert a presentation. Now up will pop all my presentations. Here's my 60 sites in 60 minutes presentation that I've already created in my Google Docs. I hit select, and again I get the same type of options. What size do I want it? Small, medium, large. Just do small. Do I want the slideshow to start as soon as I don't want that? I'm just going to include the title. I'm going to hit save. And again, you get the same type of box up here. It won't appear until you hit save. And here's your 60 sites in 60 minutes. Now, the one thing that you need to take note of, if you're going to put things on your website and you want your students to see them without having to sign into their Google Docs, you need to, in your Google Drive, or in that document, which is, so this document, 60 sites in 60 minutes, I need to make sure that my share settings are set so I have public on the web, anyone on the internet can find and view this. And so if that's if it's set to private, your students will not be able to access that unless you have actually given them permission to view that document. And so they must sign in order to see that document. And so I always do public on the web, again, least restrictive, and can view. I don't want them to edit, I don't want them to comment, I just want them to view this presentation. And so I hit save and done, okay, to make sure that in my document my access is set correctly. Now if I don't want to embed it, I do the same type of thing as I did with my document. I just hit copy this URL, go to my website, again in the edit, "60 minutes presentation," highlight it, link it to a web address, paste it, open it in a new window, click OK. Save. Now this is a link to this presentation. It's not actually embedded into my page. And so you can do that as well if you don't want to actually embed it. But again, I need to stress that you must, if you do not want your students to have to sign in order to see the documents, you need to be in your share settings very less restrictive. And so in my share settings, again, I need to click on the share, see here that this is only private. I could not put this on my website, and anybody could see it because I haven't allowed that to happen. So you need to definitely see that who has access in your document. And so if you want to hit pause here real quick and try that out on your website with different documents, different things, go for it. If you think you got a pretty good handle on it and you want to just continue on, we'll continue on here in a couple seconds. Now, the last piece here is integrating your Google Calendar into your website. And so if I were to create a calendar, I would create a calendar for each one of my classes. And so, for instance, I would have, I'm in my calendar up top here. I'm going to create over here, excuse me, I'm going to create a new calendar. And so this will be my, let's call it World History, okay, calendar. And again, the one thing that I like to do right off the bat, I'm just going to make this calendar public. Least restrictive, easy to do. Don't have to worry about sharing with specific people. And I'm going to hit create calendar. It asks, do you want to make things visible? Why not? Who cares? And then my world history calendar is right here. And for easy, I'm just going to display only this calendar. And so as I add events, so this will be, we're going to do chapter 1 notes. Okay, I can do it that way. Oop, forgot to hit chapter 1 notes. I can hit create event, or I can even go get as specific as we're going to continue with chapter 1 notes, and in my description I can do section 2 notes and worksheet. If you want to do that descriptive, you can do that as well. You can actually get as far as to adding attachments, and so if you have a worksheet to go along with this, you can add it to your calendar if you want. That's getting a little advanced into Google Calendar. Hit save, And so here's my calendar. Okay. And so if I want to put this on my website for people to see, people to access, how do I do that?